Against the Current is one of my favorite tunes because it's got this really interesting, all I can call it is a one drop. It has a similar relationship to the downbeat that reggae does, where in Western music, for the most part, we're used to hearing a really strong, normally kick beat on beat one. But in this case, we have this second half of the measure kick and bass pattern that's really important, and you can feel it like 3 different ways. In fact, the band, we've discussed whether or not to feel it in 12 or in 6. You can really easily hear it both ways. If you're thinking of the big 4 in 12, it's really easy to think of it as it's a 3, 4, or if it's in 6, which is how I've learned to feel it. That's how Zach wrote it initially. It's the 4 and the and of 5. That opens up a lot of really interesting things that we can do when we're comping. Adam and I can play around with how are we subdividing that measure and how are we being deceptive with where the downbeat is, and kind of mischievous is a word that I have written in my chart as a note of kind of how we can approach that one drop, this not hitting you over the head with beat 1. We have this space at the beginning of each measure, and then this is one of my favorite tunes to comp in terms of behind a soloist, because of that one device. Just that one kick and bass pattern allows us a lot of freedom and creativity there. Beyond that, which is like the main device of the piece, over the top of that, Zach has written these 2 different right hand patterns, one of which is an open hi-hat. The other is a ride bell, but they're in opposite places. So the first time this pattern appears, the open hi-hat is on 2, 4, and 6. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. But when the bell comes in, it's 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. So I had to work out the coordination of how to keep this odd kick pattern that you can feel in a few different ways while playing this very specific pattern that isn't so intuitive for a drummer. I probably wouldn't write that for myself, but I love running into how non-drummers think about those kinds of rhythms. And in both cases, it sounds awesome. But the second time, it's over the Iwi solo. So I have to be keeping that going with the kick pattern and also comping and giving the soloist something to do instead of just being stuck in this pattern. So I wanted to have some freedom with it and not just be recreating the ink, just playing what's on the page.